Ladies and gentlemen, it is my hope and prayer that this video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I'm fine. Kisumu is also fantastic. Maybe you could let me know where you are watching the video from. Now, on the day William Samoei Arap Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, unveiled his cabinet, he also made some two announcements. The announcement of the resignation of George Kinoti and the announcement of Hilary Mutyambai proceeding on leave.
This afternoon also, I have received communication from the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Mutyambai, of his request to proceed on terminal leave because of his health situation. I have, after discussing with Mr. Mutyambai and in consideration of his service to our nation and his health situation, I have accepted that Mr. Mutyambai will proceed on terminal leave on the 6 months that he still has of his contract. I have also received the resignation of the Director General of CID, Mr. Kinoti, and I have transmitted the same to the National Police Service to proceed with advertising that position.
And for me, I listened to William Ruto very closely and his body language. And I strongly believe that what Ruto did is that he fired these two gentlemen, but as a gentleman. He didn't just want to write them a letter, just to fire them on radio, the way former President Daniel Moi used to do. So in this video, I want us to look at why William Ruto fired George Kinoti and Hilary Mutyambai. Because the truth of the matter is that there was no way William Ruto was going to continue with George Kinoti as the Director of Criminal Investigations and Hilary Mutyambai, because William Ruto himself made this statement on Hilary Mutyambai.
Serious problem with the command of the police. We have the most incompetent Inspector General of Police, I think, in the world. The most incompetent in the whole world. And that's a big problem. If you put yourselves in our shoes, if the IG is also a competitor in the election, you know, where do you stand?
And we all remember that even allies of William Ruto were very clear on one thing, that the Director of Criminal Investigation was being used to target them. And therefore, the earliest opportunity they got, they had to fire the gentleman.
And I want to tell IG Mutyambai, since the creation of the earth, since the independence of this country, we have never seen a more incompetent IG. You take orders from some other quarters, yet wewe unaelewa ya kwamba police force ya Kenya iko independent.
Now, let us now get back to the main issue. And by the way, I want to make this request to you guys. I know so many people on this channel normally watch the video, but you have not yet subscribed. Please just press that subscribe button now. I also know that the best way you can support this channel is by pressing that thumbs up button. So just click that subscribe button now in case you have not yet subscribed, or the thumbs up button. Now, let us get now to serious business. And I want to begin this video by asking you guys a very simple question. Assuming you are William Ruto and you have won election and you've been declared the president of the Republic of Kenya the way William Ruto has been declared, would you have allowed Hilary Mutyambai and George Kinoti to continue as the Inspector General of Police and as the Director of Criminal Investigations? Would you do that? For me, there was no way William Ruto was going to allow these two gentlemen to proceed. Remember, Hilary Mutyambai's term in office is actually ending in April next year, just a few months from now. So there was no hurry really for Ruto to fire him. But William Ruto could not give him even a single extra day. What about George Kinoti? George Kinoti had to go immediately. Why? Because even before William Ruto was sworn in, just after IBC declared him the president-elect and after the court made their ruling, the deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, reminded DCI on the way he arrested him. And for those who remember, there were 7 DCI officers who also resigned because they were the people who were directly used to arrest Rigathi Gachagua. You arrest somebody in a manner which is not dignifying, then the next day he's the deputy president. I mean, can you continue working? So these guys also decided to leave. But why do you think Ruto had to fire these gentlemen? Number one, in my view, is revenge. William Ruto and his allies made it very clear that they really suffered. Remember, the DCI was the body which was being used to conduct investigations. So anybody who was associated with Ruto was being investigated. And most of them were being dragged to court. Some of them arrested, harassed. So it was now the opportunity for Ruto to send a strong message to the DCI and every other person that you harassed us. You weaponized the war on corruption. Anybody who was attached to me, who was loyal to me, was investigated. So you have to leave. So I think the first casualty of William Ruto's vengeful nature are Hilary Mutyambai and George Kinoti. So they had to go. There was no shortcut about that. Number 2 is loyalty. According to our constitution, the police service is supposed to be independent. And for those who follow William Ruto's politics closely, he was very clear on one thing, that once he takes over, he will make police service to be independent again. And the judiciary, for example. The judiciary, he made sure that they now have their fund. And for the police service, William Ruto has now given them the autonomy to manage their own funding or funds. So which means, as per the law, the body is supposed to be independent, but they are appointed by the president. And once they are appointed by the president, that name has to be approved in parliament. And once the parliament approves the name, then you serve. But by nature, if Uhuru Kenyatta, if the president appoints you, then it means your loyalty will be to the president. That's how Hilary Mutyambai found himself answerable or loyal to Uhuru. George Kinoti also found himself loyal to Uhuru Kenyatta. William Ruto, as the new president, would want a team because security is a very important docket. That's where you need your most trusted ally. After appointing Kithure Kindiki as the cabinet secretary for internal security, then the next step was to get rid of this other gentleman. The only area he can't touch, I know, is that of military. But William Ruto would want a situation where he has people who are actually loyal to him. Number 3 is sabotage. There's a strong feeling that if these gentlemen were allowed to continue working until their term comes to an end, they could sabotage William Ruto. They could sabotage the government. Sabotaging the government is easy. You just ensure that there's security situations across the country. people get mad. There are leakages of whatever is happening, classified information within government. So because of the fear of sabotage, that because these guys were closely associated with Uhuru, then they were going to sabotage, even if their term is not coming to an end. For example, Hilary was supposed to serve 4-year term. Kinoti, 8-year term, I think, according to the constitution. So simply, they didn't want a situation where they are being sabotaged. And number 4, in my view, is 2027 election. William Ruto is already scheming for 2027 election. 2022 is done and dusted. Just like if you look at his cabinet appointment, and I did a comprehensive analysis about that, his appointments to the cabinet were actually informed by 2027. Again, this police resignation and leave are actually geared towards 2027. William Ruto saw how Uhuru Kenyatta used the police, how the police actually frustrated him. In fact, it is alleged that on the day William Ruto was declared the president, Wafula Chebukati had to delay for close to 1 hour because the DCI officers blocked him from leaving office. William Ruto had to intervene by ordering his officers to go and evacuate Wafula Chebukati. And again, he also had to use the deputy inspector of police, Mr. Gabo, who then ensured that order was restored. So basically, he understands that for him also to succeed, he needs police force who are loyal to him and who will be able to help him in 2027. And lastly, I think it's about the management of the police funds. The truth of the matter is that William Ruto has now unveiled funds for the police. If you look at the government budget in this country, the police service normally takes the huge chunk. But they couldn't, in most cases, they couldn't even fuel their cars. So William Ruto wants to beat 2 birds with 1 stone. He wants to make the police happy because now they have funds which they can use on their own. Number 2, he will also have people at the top there who will be able to help him manage those funds so that some of the funds will find their way in his 2027 campaigns. So those are some of the reasons I think George Kinoti was forced to leave. And George Kinoti is a gentleman who most Kenyans will really appreciate. I think if there's one guy who committed his life to serving the Kenyan communities, that person is George Kinoti. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.